Thought I'd make one of my first videos be a little introduction to my amateur home shop. If you have any questions, let me know. First thing you notice when you walk over to my shop is this crappy import little horizontal bandsaw. It's a Delta, and it's rustier than hell because I just leave it outside. Since I live in California, it doesn't rain that much, and I don't cover it up. It just gets wet if it rains, and that Baldur motor just keeps going as long as I don't run it when it's wet. Anyway, the place is a mess, which it typically is. Half of my job out in the amateur shop is just trying to straighten up and make it look like a real shop, and I end up having another project that messes it up, and I leave that project half finished and go to the next project, and I think most people can relate to that. So excuse the mess. I still haven't finished my little garage light project, but it still works. Anyway, if we pan from left to right, it's just a standard 2-car garage, maybe 20 by 20. And we'll just start from the left, work our way to the right, and then the prior owner of the house built a little room behind the garage they used as an art studio. I use that term loosely because I don't call her an artist, but I have more stuff back there. This is a little 60-gallon M-Glow, 5-horse single phase, and a little Napa cabinet I got somewhere. A little wall of clamps. I have most of the machinery's older. I like it. Yates American J140 mortiser that I have, and then this is a Yates American belt disc sander. It's a 6x60, I believe, with a 15 or 16-inch disc. Over on this side is a 8-inch Yates American joiner from the 40s, and you'll notice that several of the machines still retain the awesome college or high school clown colors, but the table saw right here, slash storage area, slash workbench. It's a Oliver 270 with the extended table. Again, clown colors. It even says it's a table saw, in case you don't know. But I just cleaned up the table surface and cleaned up the trunnions, and fired up and lubricated it up and use it. At some point I might restore it. Just picked up this nice little metal National Twist Drill chart. Over here is a new little made in Taiwan dust collector. Works pretty good though. Down here, a couple motors. One's a 2-horse or 3-horse phase-o-matic phase converter. The other is a 10-horse motor for a home built phase converter that I put the converter parts in this little GE box up here, when I built it, and swing it around here, sorry, keep going left to right. I play roller hockey, and so you'll see the gear sits up there until it dries. This is a little State single phase spindle sander, and in that box is all the spindles and throat plates for it. I got it at auction for a pretty good price. I think maybe $120, $150, something like that. But what was really cool was, besides it has all the spindles, it also had, like the factory little wrench to pull it, and the locking pin and stuff. So I thought that was really cool. This is a little Hobart Handler, which does most of the stuff I want to do, and then a little Harbor Freight tool cart, which it's what Chicago Electric little tool cart. It's like $150 or something at Harbor Freight. I mean, it's a really nice little cart. Really is. Little oxyacetylene welder that I got at some point that I've never used. This is a Yates American lathe. My jack's in the way. Little Milwaukee saw, chop saw. There's a slider. Yeah, it's a little sliding miter saw. The Yates is, I haven't even fired it up. I don't know if it runs, but we'll try it at some point. The same place I bought the clamps had these little homemade little metal welded rack that I got so I could store some wood. Work our way back towards the middle of the shop. This is my 16-inch Walker Turner bandsaw. At some point maybe I'll do something, talk about it, but it was from an auction and it was completely rusted and seized up, and I went completely through it, every nut and bolt, sandblasted it, and then painted it, as close to matching as I could. Everything in my shop you're going to see at one point was really nice, and you get a little bit of surface rust here, and I got to come out and hit it every once in a while. Clean the table off before I use it, kind of thing. If you have a old Walker Turner bandsaw and you have any of the accessories for it, like the front fence, or they have like a screw mechanism for when you're doing the woodworking, let me know. I'd be interested in that. I put a VFD on this one that I got at Iron Fest, the old woodworking get together outside of Chicago at the Illinois Railroad Museum 2 or 3 years ago. Keep moving our way around. This is a J180 Yates American 18-inch planer that I'm about 85% done. Completely tore it apart, sandblasted it, painted it. I've leveled the tables. Now I need to put the blades in and level the blades, and I need to set the rollers and dial it in, and then and I need to get a size 1 switch that will go down here that the motor wires into, and that's kind of where I'm at on it. I need to get the switch because I'd like to fire it up and run it. I've just plugged it into, stuck the wires directly into the phase converter and fired up the converter, excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm misspeaking. I've wired it to a plug, fired the phase converter up, and just plugged it to this little drop that I have right here for the, I just put this in the ceiling and have it hanging down. I can hook the table saw to it, I can hook the planer to it, stuff like that. And so I know the motor runs, and the gears all work that I redid and stuff. Yates American always had the coolest hand wheels. This back wall, snap-on toolbox. That's really cool. And then what's really cool is this little 108, 109 drawer cabinet that I got. This is a little snap-on wall cabinet, Hilti wall cabinet. The snap-on cabinet, which I don't think I can reach from the ground. And there's no way to pause this, I don't think. No. Anyway, I'll show you that. That's cool. A little surface plate that I have this little aluminum cover for. It fits over it, but I was using it the other day. So I've got everything out in the way. This is like boxes of shit that need to go elsewhere. I cleaned up this closing drill press. It's a nice little 15-inch drill press. It's got a little XY table. I have an extra little down quill feed, which I don't know if it's exactly the same or not, but I was just watching a YouTuber who is working on a closing metal lathe, and it almost looks like this mechanism. This one I think has a bad spring or whatever, but it's just a part that I had. Is the same thing that they just set in on the hydraulic speed control for the closing lathe. I need to check that out. Little Beverly shear that I restored, little B2. Over on this side is a little E18 edge sander that I finally plugged in after owning it for like 7 years, and it actually works. And I bought some belts for it. There's the sanding part. You'll see some of these tools out here like this, and it's when I've been picking up new tools and new organizational holders, and so I need to get those on OfferUp or something, Craigslist, something like that. This is a router table that I'm not really planning on keeping, but I'm going to keep the Joint Tech raising mechanism, but I'll figure something else out to do with that. Little Milwaukee vacuum. It's my woodworker's bench. Little monster fridge, little Gerstner, little Klein tool rack that I think is pretty cool. This little Emmert vise that I'm going to be selling because over here in this porter cable dovetail jig, in this little box here is a Oliver vise. And that pretty much does this shop. So let's go back into that spare room. Added some LEDs from Costco, which work really well. And if I just walk in, first thing you'll see is it's a Rockwell milling machine. It's a horizontal vertical combo with power feed and a little 4-inch Kurt vise on it. It's a good little mill for a home shop. And you know, you've got your rotary table, which is a Troike. On top of it is a little Benchmaster rotary table. Just some stock here, and you know, some power tools and stuff. A couple little 5-drawer Kennedy chests that I have. This is like tap stuff, and you know, you got your calipers, mics, you know, stuff like that. You know, typical stuff. Table saw blades. I haven't built above the woodworker's bench. I want to build a cabinet, like a woodworker's cabinet. And this is hand planes that I want to put in that cabinet. Nothing collectible per se. You know, pretty much just user quality stuff. Stuff from like a number 2 Stanley up to a number 8, and you know, a few other things. It's a nice little baby bullet I got at the swap meet one time. Let's see, work our way back up here. Just some more nuts and bolt cabinet, stuff like that. Over here you have a little Baldur buffer with a stand. This is the Baldur Carbide tool grinder. I had an insurance claim where I had a Delta Carbide tool grinder, and they dropped something on it. Didn't break it, other than dented the lampshade and the water pot, but they bought me a new grinder. This is a just a Baldur 7-inch grinder. But what's cool about it, which I didn't realize at the time when I bought it off Craigslist, was it has 2 speeds. It does 3600 or 1800. So if you push down, you know, that's 1800 RPM. And then if you go up, that's 3600, which is cool. Little 3M cabinet here that just has some crap in it. Yeah, let's see. This is a little Derex was it the M5 drill sharpener. I picked up, and then I got some sanding belts and crap like that in this cabinet. What's in here? Just like buffing stuff. This is a casting that I need to machine. I'm sorry, right here for the E18 Newton edge sander. These are just some of the parts that I had that for sharpening and the diamond dresser for the Delta Carbide tool grinder, but I can use it on my 7-inch grinder, so I didn't get rid of it. And this is way beefier. That's the old miter gauge for the Delta, way beefier than the Baldur, so I may just make a new. It's the same width miter slot, but the Baldur is thinner, so I may just make a new slot for it. But this is all the Derek stuff, you know, and you got the large holder, the smaller holder, you know, an extra. You know, this came with a spot for 2. So I don't know if that's common or not. This is a base off an American woodworking machinery from like the early 1900s. It's a big sander where it had 2 pedestals, and you would sand like wood and like doors and stuff in between. A stroke sander, I think is what it was called. I can't remember, but that's where I got the GE starter box. It was attached to this base, and I just put my little Dake broach press on it. Then you've got your Kennedy box, top, middle, all that. Extra 5C collets I need to sell. These are the drawers for another Kennedy box I have. I had to take them out because I was trying to figure out a place to put the Kennedy box. But it has most of my metalworking lathe stuff on it and mill stuff. Those are arbors for the horizontal, you know, and then you can see the follower rest for the mill lathe. I'll come around. This is a Burger King, little 2x48 or 2x60, I can't remember. Burger King. Love this sander, man. This sander is awesome. Use it a lot. This is my little home shop lathe. It's a closing, 12-inch closing, 5900 series, and works great. Original paint. Thought it cleaned up nice. I did not repaint it or anything. I figured I liked the way it looked. I'm just working on the compound, just kind of cleaning it up because I was doing some threading. I've never really used the compound that much when I do lathe stuff. So, but I was going to do it while I was threading. Original wrench is cool. A buddy of mine built a little thing out of angle iron to set stuff on. This is mainly squares and rounds in here. I've got another little wall snap-on cabinet here that, you know, I use to hold the 5C collets, and then I got a KDK holder, not a Loris, and I've got about every bar you can think of for it, and a little 20N Super Chuck up there because it won't fit down here. This is the other Kennedy box. I'm not sure if I like it there. It's kind of blocking the lathe. I had it over here in between. It fits perfect, but I want to get into the side cabinet here to lubricate. That closing drill press return quill spring thingy, whatever you want to call it, there's one in here, you know, and I think it's the same damn thing. I don't know. A little Accurite, little hydraulic press. And then we've got storage here for routers and sanders. This is a cool little find, little Cleveland twist drill cabinet, you know, that you can put all your drills and stuff in. And it's got fractional numbers, letters. I use this drawer for end mills and for bigger end mills. And then this has like Morse taper drill bits. More power tool storage. I use this drawer for mainly the milling stuff. And got the cool milling poster from Rockwell, and working on putting a new all DRO on. I've already ran the I already had a new all DRO on it, but the brain unit went kaput. So that's about it. That's the shop. what I was working on with the threading is this, which is for the mortiser here. You know, it goes up here and holds the bit. And mine, they're supposed to have a split in it. I borrowed one from a friend, and looks like this. Has a flat, similar to Greenlee and Oliver, but this is like 3/4 inch. I think the Greenlee is like 7/8 or the Oliver 7/8. But you can see it has a split. It goes almost all the way through it. And had this smaller bit here, my friend, and he couldn't hold it on his bit holder because it's bigger. And so I'm just, I figured, okay, well, it's a good little project. Turned it, put the flat in it, threaded it, and made my attempt. I had a spare piece of brass, so I thought, hey, I'll see if I can make the screw part for it, or the nut, if you want to say that. But it's a stop, really, and I never used my knurling tool before, but so it's not the greatest. I didn't go as deep as I should have, but this fits very nicely in here, nice and snug, but loose enough to come out. You can go up there, and then you can adjust the height, and that'll grip the bit. And fun little threading project. If you have any questions on any of the machines, let me know. Otherwise, that's my amateur home shop. Oh, almost forgot. Daughter's bike's up there because it is a garage, theoretically, that I call a shop. Take care.